All right, so I guess what I'm about to say is really no surprise, but I am just so glad that Tom Brady got 4 games and that the Patriots really got punished for Deflategate. Again, even going past what I think of Deflategate, what I think of the significance of deflating footballs or tampering with the balls. That's beside the point. As I mentioned in my last rant, and I might be repeating myself here a little bit, I think the Patriots got what they deserved simply because they were the Patriots, simply because of the way they behaved. It's not because I'm holding Spygate against them. It's not because of this or that or the other. It's just this is what the Patriots do. Not even cheat, just act kind of like ambiguous, go behind the rules, go around, authority, and then they kind of just throw their hands up like, what, who, me? Like, yeah, you. Especially Tom Brady. At least Belichick has a little more tact when he does these kind of things. He tries to stay out of trouble for the most part, but if he's in trouble, he at least admits it and then moves on in his usual cold Belichickian way. It's almost like Tom Brady wasn't prepared to be confronted like this. And I almost can't blame him the way he's been just treated by the media and by the pathetic Patriots fans who would love him no matter what he did. So obviously, when the NFL's accusing him of something and they're asking him for his text messages, and of course he didn't do anything wrong, but he won't give up the phone, which to me, as I mentioned before, is almost an admission of guilt without admitting it. Again, it goes back to that whole thing. If you're going to argue with the process, if you're going to, undermine the NFL and act like, oh, we didn't do anything, leave us alone, then guess what? The NFL is going to come down on you harder than if you just kind of complied with it. You don't argue with a police officer when they pull you over and they say, oh, were you speeding? I don't know, was I? Kind of. No, you either did or you didn't. You got to know when to just kind of come out and say it. I'm not saying, if you're Brady, you come out and just fess up to everything and say, this whole big eulogy about it. But, I mean, you got to say something. You can't just go, I don't know, and shove it under a rug forever and then be surprised when people get mad at you and you get suspended. Oh, gee, how did that happen? It's because you've been keeping your mouth shut this whole time. So I'm not going to sit here and feel sorry for you because you got a punishment that you did very little to argue about. Of course, now they'll argue about it. Now that Tom Brady will counter them and do an appeal and all this stuff, and they probably won't serve the whole 4 games, but I give the NFL credit for having the balls to kind of just get this thing done. And to just kind of say to the Patriots, you know what, we do take this seriously, even if you don't. And again, like I said, I don't even take it seriously. The actual, infraction, the actual thing. I mean, I'm not going to be like Teddy Bruschi. Jeez, Teddy Bruschi acts like he was just blood brothers with Tom Brady. Tom Brady couldn't have possibly done anything wrong, according to Teddy Bruschi. And if you have the gall to argue otherwise, well, you're just a horrible human being. How could you not trust the great Tom Brady? Come on, even if I liked Tom Brady, I would find it hard to believe most of this stuff. And I don't like Tom Brady. I've been perfectly candid about that. I don't like Tom Brady. I don't like the Patriots. Whether they win or lose, they're absolute jerks about it. And I love seeing them take the fall for anything. Even if they get a parking ticket. I just love to see the Patriots fall. I'll admit that. I hate them. I hate the Patriots. I hate Tom Brady. I hate Pete Carroll for giving them a Super Bowl. I mean, on and on and on and on. So even though this is just a minor blow for them, and, Patriots fans will still whine and cry about it. And, why didn't this team get this? Why didn't this one get this? Because, you know what? They didn't. And your team had every opportunity to kind of at least make this somewhat right. Tom Brady could have just come out and admitted it. He could have given up his text messages. He could have been a little more forthcoming about what information he had. The NFL's tired of the game. They're tired of the Patriots' don't ask, don't tell policy. And I'm glad they're getting something for it. And I'd be interested to see if the Patriots even have a comment about this. Probably not. They'll probably do their usual thing, do a press release, oh, we're disappointed, blah, blah, blah. I mean, they're not human over there in Foxborough. They're really not. They're very business-like. They're very football-related. And you know what? That's the business. I realize a lot of teams are like that. The Patriots aren't that much different in that regard. But, to do this and to just kind of lollygag through it, and for Tom Brady to have the nerve to sit there and go, did I do it? I don't know. Well, guess what? The NFL thinks you did it. And quite frankly, so do I. So whatever the issue was, however major the infraction was, I just think it's great that he's gotten suspended. And I hope it sticks. And I hope he really just enjoys sitting on the sidelines while his team celebrates a Super Bowl win that he shouldn't have even won. I personally find that awesome. I hope Jimmy Garoppolo does a better job than him, although I doubt that'll happen. And again, I just kind of hope the Patriots tank anyway. So take that for what it's worth. That's why I think Tom Brady deserved a suspension. It could have been an even longer suspension, to be honest, because when you sit there and you just don't say anything and you don't plead your case, what does the other side have to go on? If you're not going to reveal your text messages or show that you had nothing wrong or come forward and say, I didn't do anything wrong, then why does the NFL owe you anything, quite frankly? And if Brady's not willing to do that and the Patriots aren't willing to do that and they're going to go behind their curtains and act like the Patriots, then guess what? They deserve whatever they get, no matter how absurd some people say it is. If it's really that absurd, then come out and fight it. Don't just talk about it or act like you're talking about it. So that's all I got on this issue. I might be back for more later. I still hate Tom Brady, so just keep that in mind.